How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine today.
Okay.
hmm
And just for the record, what is your name?
My name is Talitha McAdoo.
Right. And you
hmm
my grandmother, I call you Mama Charlotte.
Yeah, that's right. You call me Mama Charlotte,
Right.
and I am your grandmother.
Yeah. And how many names do you have?
How many
Names.
names I have? Mama Charlotte, Aunt Diddy, and Granny. That's
Mm-hmm.
three.
Mm-hmm.
Three names.
Did you ever think we would get a black president?
Not in my lifetime. No, I never would have thought we'd have had a black president.
Mm-hmm.
That was exciting to me. And every time he come on, I would just every time he comes on, every time I know he's coming on, I'm gonna be watching for it. I'm gonna be watching. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I think so far he has did a good job being a
Mm-hmm.
president, especially being black. I
Mm-hmm.
think he did a good job. I think he did a good job.
When you were growing up, all the whites stayed in one spot and the black stayed in another
Yeah,
spot, right?
yeah, that's right.
So, what made white people vote for Obama? You think? What? Why do you think? Because white people had to vote for him.
Yeah. What made them vote for him?
Yeah. Why do you
Because
think that came
I
about?
think the reason so many white and young men, young people, white young people, voted for Obama because they want a change.
Mm-hmm.
I think they want a change, and our black people did too.
Mm-hmm.
Our young black people, they want to change too. I think they want to change.
Let's talk about young women and how they can't cook. You know, when I came in, you make the best prune cake. You were the prune cake queen. That was your specialty, right?
Yeah.
Right. So how did you start off making prune cake?
Well, plum cake, I think your granddaddy, Slick,
Mm-hmm.
sister, and Lizzie, you never did know her, I don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, she worked for a lady, and I think she worked with this lady, and where she worked, they cooked and served meals. And she came in with this recipe for plum cake. And I think that's where that plum cake recipe came from.
Mm-hmm.
Not from me. I got it from her, and started making plum cake.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I think if I'd have went on doing that, I would have, I think I could have been famous.
Made a
Really?
business.
Yeah. I think I could have been famous, like selling, making those fried pies.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could have, because now since I am not well and can't do it anymore, people call me on the phone wanting prune cake. Every holiday, they want a prune cake.
Well, I was gonna say your prune cakes are pretty famous though.
Yeah,
Even though you don't do them anymore,
I'm
you still
trying to,
got famous for your prune
yeah, I'm
cake.
trying to teach Carla, back then when I was first making, I remember this girl worked at the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and she wanted me to make 24 prune cakes for
Mm.
her doctors and nurses, which I did, I did. I made them. And that was a big, uh, I thought that was a big hit in my,
Right.
see, I wasn't getting but $12 for them,
Mm.
and now they sell for about 20. And I
Mm-hmm.
could sell them for, well, Carla got 15 for her, she made the other day. She
Mm-hmm.
got 15, and the lady called back and said it was good, and that made me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So I was glad of that.
I
hmm
know Carla is my auntie, but her prune cakes ain't like your prune cakes.
And, you know, Carla made several for different people, and they said, don't taste like Michelle's, don't taste like Michelle's plum cake. And so that's just, I wish I could I can tell them how to make them, now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make them, I'm kind of my hands, I just can't make them like I used to. I mean, I can't make them at all,
Mm-hmm.
but I can tell them what to put in them and how to, do how to do them. So that's the plum cake now.
Okay, well, you've seen a lot of things change and a lot of things come and go. Uh, you see how cars and internet and airplanes and they done been to the moon and back and outer space and all kind of crazy stuff. What has anything like surprised you about the technology or inventions?
Oh, yes, it surprised me because I wouldn't have thought. Well, I tell you when they said they was going to put a man on the moon, and Ruth was children was small, and we went up there to live with them a while. I did. We did. And I was just scared to death. They're going to put a man on, put a man on the moon. That was just scary to me. But they did it, they went on and did it. Now they got space ships and space things and going all around everywhere.
I guess people don't know, just looking, how old you are, though.
No.
So you are, how?
93.
93 years old. So you've seen a lot of changes.
Yeah, a lot of changes. And, we didn't get to go to school like other people, a lot of us children. We lived far away from school, and we had to go over a fence, climb over a rock fence, and where we could get on the other side to go to school. And that's the reason we didn't get our education like a lot of kids. We just went to the 4th grade.
So did you go to the 4th grade?
Oh, me and my sister. Yeah, we went to the 4th grade.
Because you're a twin, right?
Yeah, I'm a twin. Yes, I'm a twin.
And how many brothers and sisters did you have?
I had one brother, and my twin sister, and I had another sister older than we were, and I had a brother. That's 3 ones. 3 beside me. Before.
Okay. And you went to the 4th grade, but you managed to do pretty well because you read and you write.
Yeah, I think we did really good to not going to school as much as we did. We had a friend that, she lived up on the hill, and we lived down there. And we would come down to her house, and she would teach us. I remember her teaching us, how to read and write, how to do things. She would teach us. She was really a nice lady.
Was she white or black?
She was black. She was black. And we would, that's our schooling. But look now how schooling is different. Now kids just go right on with get their schooling and on to college. Who would have thought your daddy would go to college with me and daddy not being, not having a good job like a lot of people. And so when he would write home, I remember he had a birthday and when he was in college. And
my daddy?
Yeah. And I had a card. I went around and got all my people to sign it, so we could send it to him. So we did. And I worked for a real nice lady. And he wrote and told me that he wanted some, but I found out later that he went to a party. I don't think I got the money from the lady I worked for.
Right.
And sent it to him, but I think later on somebody said he had a party, or either he went to a party.
Right. With that money. Right.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about the lady you work for. She's almost like a family member because we hear about her all the time. Could you tell the people who she was?
I worked for about 50 years, and she and her husband was nice. She was really nice. And at Christmas time, she would, now if I said I wanted something, like I said I wanted a purple suit, and we couldn't find one around here nowhere, well, your daddy, somebody brought me to Arkansas, and I went to Lane Bryant, and I got my purple suit, and I wanted a cape. Well, if anything I tell her I wanted, she would get it for me.
And what was her name?
Eloise Umphrey.
Miss Humphrey.
Yeah, Miss Umphrey. And she was such a nice lady. And after her husband died, well, she got fever and couldn't do too much. And when like Carla or Aunt Elizabeth or someone would come to go get the groceries, well, whatever I wanted, I could get it. Whatever I wanted.
Off her bill.
It didn't make no difference what it was. I could get it. She would always prepare me. She wanted me to have everything I wanted. And she was that kind of lady.
And you say you worked for her 50 years?
Yeah. Yeah, 50 years.
Was that the kind of work that most black women did when you were coming up?
At that time. And we would, of course we didn't have any way to ride, and like, it may be 4 or 5 ladies working in the home, and we'd all be walking up West Main. We call West Main.
Here in Lebanon, Tennessee?
Yeah, in Lebanon, Tennessee. We would be in a drove, like this would come on, meet that one, that would come on, meet that one. We'd all be walking up West Main, going to our jobs, at that time. And I worked for people. You couldn't come in the front door. You had to go to the back door. And this couple I worked for, he was a coach up at Castle Heights, and they did not let me go in no back door. I went in the front door.
What?
They never made me go in no back door. Back door. I had to always go in the front. But most people then, you couldn't even sit up on the front seat in a car. Well, you had to get in the back. They didn't want you up there. I don't care how much room they had. You had to sit in the back, And that's the way we were treated. I can't tell y'all. I'm telling you what I can think of right now.
Right. Now, were you scared for your kids when they switched over and whites could go to school with blacks? Because you had, 5 kids?
Yeah. Well, Charlie was always, he was determined. But when he went over here to the white school, every day I would think, I don't know where Slick would be thinking about, but I just knew they were going to jump on him. But they didn't. He made it through. He made it through really good. Never did have no fights with any of the kids. I don't know how many years did he go over there? I don't know.
I think he went his senior year.
Yeah, he graduated, didn't he?
Now, did you tell him anything about going over there when he was the first one or one of the first?
West Black.
The black. Did you tell him anything? Did you give him any pep talk or anything?
Yeah, I know I did. I told, I would tell him, Charlie, don't be over there, do whatever they said do. I just thought they would just be jumping on him. That's how I felt in my mind, that they would be, because he was black and they didn't want him over there.
And he's real dark.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I would think, I know they're going to jump on him. And he never had a bit of trouble. Never, and he wasn't scared either. Some of the kids, they didn't want to go over there. Some of the black children that could have went maybe over there, but they didn't want to go because they know how they did them, and they didn't want to go over there.
Okay. Pickett Rucker is really sort of a McAdoo church a little bit.
It was.
It was. Oh well. Anyway, it was sort of a family church.
Yeah.
So kind of talk about church.
Well, church was. wonderful. When they were growing up, they went to young people's, the young people at 5 o'clock in the evening. They would, well, Marilyn and Harry was, they was courting and friends. They would all go to
Now, how did you deal with your daughter? Because that was your oldest, right? How did you deal with her and boys?
Her and boys? Mm-hmm. It was just kind of smooth kind of, dealing, because there I had Carla as a baby. Carla come up on the, and they mostly took care of Carla, whereas me and Slick would go to parties and things.
Okay. Now, didn't you sing?
Yeah, we sang.
You used to sing all the time?
Yeah, we sang in the choir, yeah. We sang in the choir, yeah, all the time. But I never could sing a solo, but we had visiting church, and we had a visiting church to come. I invited them, and so they came to our church. And you know how when you have a visiting church, you have to get up and make comments or something. And so when I got up to talk, I couldn't say nothing. I just up there and Charlie, it just upset him so bad. Well, Mom, you could have said something. I just couldn't say it, maybe I said, I'm glad you're here or something, but I couldn't make a talk like a lot of people.
Right.
I never was a talker. My sister was a talker. But I never could, make no comments or get up and talk about different things. But that's one thing I always will remember. I know what kind of dress I had on and everything. But I just couldn't. I had invited this church to our church, but it didn't work out with me.
Now so Auntie was the talkative one.
I'm looking for her to do everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're pretty good with the telephone right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I love my telephone. Don't take it away, please.
Okay. Well, since we talk about family, tell us about the old family. Tell us.
Well.
Maybe your parents, because I don't know nothing about your parents.
We was raised. Our grandmother raised me, and my mother was a single parent, and my grandmother raised me and my sister, and her name was America. And my mother would go out on Monday and stay to, work the week, and then she would come home,
What kind of work did she do?
Well, she did go stay with people, nurse children, white children.
Like a nanny?
Yeah, nanny, right. That's what it was. And so, but growing up, I think that our life, it was, my daddy, we see our grandmother, and then my daddy married somebody that didn't marry my mama. He married somebody else. And then they built a room on to my grandmother's house. So they lived there with them. But they had separate, they had their separate utensils, kitchen and everything. But Granny always cooked for us. And back then, when people didn't have no 2 rooms, they had one big room. Maybe might have 3 beds in there, And I remember me and my sister had a bed, my grandmama and her husband, they had a bed. The fireplace was up there, and that's where we would, how they had those black pots and they put them in that heat and cook, cook things like that. And it had stoves. You had to put wood in to cook your meals. Didn't have no water nowhere. You didn't have no running water, nothing like that.
Now you told me about Aunt Mary and how she started courting. How did you get with Granddaddy Slick?
Oh, well, me and Granddaddy Slick, we met. Now, Mom Carey, that was his mother.
Okay.
And these people, it was a picnic, and so we always, that's on the activities, you know, people had then. You go to picnics, and, you know. And so somebody came up from Nashville. I don't know who it was or how it was. But anyway, we was always, you know, kind of liking one another. Somebody, I don't know, they said my sister liked him first. And then I said I took him away from her. I don't know what I said now. That's what to say. But anyway, Grandma, Slick's mother, these people came up and they was gonna be bad. And Mom Carrie, she got out there.
They were gonna be bad?
Yeah, they was gonna be, you know, they was gonna, I don't know, fight somebody.
Oh, okay.
But Slick's mama, she got out there and got on. I mean, she give them a round. I think they got in their car, went back wherever it come from.
She didn't fight this shit.
Oh, Lord. Keep telling. Ooh, temper. No, don't mess with Carrie McAdoo. No, don't mess with her. Yeah, that was, but back then, and then the little school, where we went to school, and that crossroad, that's where we went to school, and it was a school and a church all together.
And was that here in Lebanon?
As a crossroad.
Oh, crossroad, okay.
As a crossroad. Yeah.
And so y'all got to liking each other and...
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I reckon. I don't know. Don't ask me.
Okay.
But anyway, he was a good fella. He sure didn't want us to go hungry, and he always went out and made a living for us, and I give him credit for that.
Now, how old were you? What age were you when y'all got married? And was he?
When we got married, I was, I don't know what's the secret. You know, we didn't get married when our first child was born.
Okay.
We didn't get married. I forgot now how. We would have been married almost 60 years if he'd have lived. You know, we'd have been married about 60 years. But we didn't get married when Rufus was born. We didn't get married. But life went on, you know, just the same. We just, Mom Carrie was so good to, you know, she was good, you know, she was good. His mama was really good to me, you know, and with the children, she always helped and everything.
Now, did you do any athletics? Because I know Granddaddy liked baseball. Did he do any athletics?
Well, no, I never did do anything like that. No. He could dance like a, whatever you call it. You talking about dancing? Your granddaddy?
Slick McAdoo could dance?
Could he dance? Tap dance, do every kind of dance. I never did get out on the floor with him. He'd be out there swinging them girls, and I'd just be sitting there looking. I never could dance. But he could dance. I mean, he could really dance. I don't know about a girl, but he didn't do...
His brother.
Yeah, I didn't know too much about his dancing and things, but Charlie was actually more like Slick, you know, because he won't be in the limelight, you know how...
You sound like my wife.
Want to be seen.
You sound like my mama and my wife.
Yeah, that's the way that was. But I just about all I can say, Lord.
Okay, hey, I love you, Grandmama.
Yeah, I love you too.
All right. That's my grandmama. We mind blazing. All right.